There was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar.
That's the same Abimelech
Then
that Abraham
the Lord
was dealing
appeared
with.
to him.
Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land of which I shall tell you. Dwell in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants I give all these lands. And I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham your...
Man, imagine if he did go into Egypt. That would mess the whole timeline up, right? Because the Jews were introduced into Egypt with Joseph. And then, like, imagine if Isaac had went into Egypt. That would have messed up everything.
And I will make your descendants multiply as the stars of heaven. I will give to your descendants all these lands. And in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
What are God's commandments and statutes and laws at this point? Right? We don't have the 10 commandments. Has God written down any laws at this point? That'll be something to look into. Because we know incest is on the table, right? Abraham's married to his second wife, and Isaac is married to his first cousin. So that's not against God's law, because Abraham followed God's laws, apparently. Yeah, I'm curious. What are God's... Let me see if this Bible has anything to say. What is this? 26, verse 5. Let's see. Doesn't say anything. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see if we can find something. Okay. What were God's commandments? Abraham obeyed which commandments? There we go. And the questions are literally right there. All right. Abraham obeyed which commandments? By Bible Topic Expo. The Lord told Abraham's son Isaac in Genesis 26:5, which we just read. We just read that. Doing all that, Abraham was very obedient to God. Also, the wisdom of Sirach 44:20. What is that? Abraham kept the laws of the Most High. Is this like an Islamic text in the Quran or something? I don't know. To be so consecrated in obedience, for sure, Abraham had much faith and belief in the God he obeyed. The Apostle Paul referred to the Gentile Abraham as the father of all Christians. Romans 4:16, Abraham, who is the father of us all. Christians speculate as to which of God's numerous commandments and principles given in the Bible were obeyed by our spiritual forefather, Abraham. God Most High had laws in Abraham's day. We don't know the full extent of the laws kept by early righteous Gentiles such as Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Job, etc. Okay, so they were considered Gentiles. James Bruckner implied law in the Abraham narrative, page 18. In the Genesis narrative, conditional and unconditional commands were usually represented rhetorically by implication as oughts and ought-nots. Abraham would also be subject to human laws of the powers that be of his day. For example, the discovered Babylonian Code of Hammurabi may date from near the time of Abraham's grandson Jacob or shortly thereafter. However, there is no scriptural record of any antediluvian civil government or laws that with law courts with capital punishment prior to Genesis 9, 5 to 6. Previously, it seems that personal vengeance had been the rule. After Cain murdered his brother Abel, Cain said in Genesis 4:14 to 15, "Whoever finds me shall kill me." He feared some individual or kin of Abel would take vengeance upon him. All right, let's get to the point. This is not talking about what is First Eno 99:2? Okay, this is going into the apocryphal texts, right? The Bible indicates some of the, if you don't know what those are, that's like, here, the book of Jasher, the book of Enoch, the books that are not considered canon, biblical canon. The Bible indicates some of the ancients were good men. I'm guessing HE is Hebrew. Hebrew 11:4 to 5. Abel was righteous and Enoch pleased God. Enoch means dedicated or teacher. According to the supposed book of Asher 3:4 to 8, Enoch taught the ways of God. He went to the sons of men and taught them the ways of the Lord in all places where the sons of the men dwelt. Well, the ways of the Lord, Enoch walked with God. So he understood God's temperament and his character and his ways, right? The ways, the way God handled himself, he understood, right? So that's different than the laws and commands. First Enoch 99:2, "Woe unto them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law." First Enoch 106, chapter 106, 13 to 14. "Some of the angels of heaven commit sin and transgress the law." I assume that's the fallen angels. So there is a law, right? But I want to know what that is exactly. And an eternal law existed before Moses, according to First Enoch. Also, Noah was blamed. So basically, the reason why he's going through all these apocryphal texts is because there's no basis in the Bible, right? There was no concrete law written in the Bible at this time. Okay. Okay, they're just showing like all thy commandments and righteousness. Okay, we're just nodding to the phrases here. Yeah, anytime it says commandments or laws. So this article is just showcasing that there was, wait, what is here? And the great type of the seventh day Sabbath is in Genesis 2:1 to 3, when Christ himself ceased on the seventh day from his first 6 days of creation. Okay. Genesis 7:2, Noah knew which creatures were clean and unclean. That's true. So we have the clean and unclean laws there, right? Okay. Genesis 9:4, consuming blood is forbidden in Noah's day. Indecency and drunkenness, right? Okay. Genesis 14, tithing, the principle to the church and state. Priest king Melchizedek is both. Okay, he's a priest and a king. The tithing, principle to church and state. Homosexuality and sex with another kind, beast, divine punishment. I'm guessing that is Sodom and Gomorrah. So we have some laws. They're not they're not compiled together, but they are spoken about. They're spoken, the disobedience of the laws, the obedience of the laws, but there's no concrete anywhere saying this is the law. Okay, so I guess we can gather information that way. Let's continue.
So Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked about his wife. And he said,
"She is my sister."
For he was afraid to say,
"She is my wife."
Isaac too? Come on, man. I mean, she's your sister cousin. So I guess just like Abraham. But I mean, Abraham, at least I was his half-sister. But bro, what is up with these people? Stop. Oh my gosh. Didn't you learn your lesson from your father? How much problems that caused?
Because he thought,
"Lest the men of the place kill me for Rebekah, because she is beautiful to behold."
Now it came to pass, when he had been there a long time,
Like
that
father,
Abimelech,
like son.
king of the Philistines, looked through a window and saw, and there was Isaac, showing endearment to Rebekah his wife.
Bro, and with the same people in Gerar, with the same people. Abimelech better do something.
Then Abimelech called Isaac and said,
Quite obviously, she is your wife. So how could you say, she is my sister?
Because I said, lest I die on account of her.
What is this you have done to us? One of the people might soon have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us.
So Abimelech charged all his people.
You're putting punishment on your people? Abimelech is such a good host, man. He takes care of his guests. They can do no wrong.
He who touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death.
Then Isaac sowed in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him. The man began to prosper.
Blessed him for lying like his dad did? There's something I can't be missing. Some cultural thing. Like, why is Abimelech not mad about it? Even though, like, it happened with Abraham and God got mad at him, threatened his life, and you know, removed the ability to bear children from all the women that he had. Like, I'm missing something, I feel like. Like, I have to be. Like, I don't, like, that's crazy. What do you guys think? Like, yeah.
And continued prospering until he became very prosperous. For he had possessions of flocks, and possessions of herds, and a great number of servants. So the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped up all the wells, which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and they had filled them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac,
Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we.
Then Isaac departed from there, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water, which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines
Abimelech is the king, and he's saying Isaac is much mightier than them.
had
Imagine how much Isaac had. So that's another point, right? Jesus said that it will be incredibly hard for a rich man to enter heaven, simply because that you become materialistic when you're wealthy. I mean, it's not saying that wealthy people can't go to heaven, but it's hard to give up all that, right? So why is God blessing people with material wealth? Right? Why is God blessing Abraham and Isaac with so much material wealth? Yet, someone like Moses, who was born into privilege with being in Egypt, I mean, I guess privilege in the material sense, right? But was stripped of all that because, I guess, God wanted to mold him into what he knew he could be, right? He didn't need someone he didn't need to deliver his people from a place of power, just like Jesus, right? Jesus was not born into a wealthy family. Jesus was born into a very humble, poor family, born in a manger, right? So I don't understand the two, right? Why bless with material wealth? I mean, I guess he did bless the children of Egypt, the children of Israel, when they were left Egypt with material wealth, right? They got a lot of jewelry and treasures that they got to bring with them. So I don't know. Maybe he just knows that we as humans like material wealth, and he wants to reward us. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know if you guys have any insight on that, because that is somewhat of a divergence from the story of Jesus, right? Even Moses, how he left and became a shepherd and then came back, right? And freed the people. Why didn't he free the people while he was Prince of Egypt? You know? Yeah, that is interesting. Well, I mean, God put David into a place of power as king, right? His son Solomon, they had a lot of money. So, and God worked through David while he was king, not while he was a poor shepherd boy. So, I guess God works in mysterious ways and in multiple different ways. So, I guess that would be the answer, right? It's not particularly like one or the other.
Stopped them up after the death of Abraham. He called them by the names which his father had called them. Also, Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of running water there. But the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen.
The water is ours.
So he called the name of the well Esek, because they quarreled with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also. So he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, because he said,
For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
Then he went out from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said,
I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants.
Is this the first time God is revealing himself to Isaac?
For my servant
cool.
Abraham's sake.
So he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. And he pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech came up from Gerar with Ahuzzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to them,
Why have you come to me, since you hate me and have sent me away from you?
We have certainly seen that the Lord is with you.
So he said, Let there now be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, since we have not touched you, and since we have done nothing to you but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord.
So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. Then they arose early in the morning and swore an oath with one another. And Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. It came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him about the well which they had dug.
We have found water.
So he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as wives Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And they were a grief of mind to Isaac and Rebekah.
When Isaac was 40 years old, he took as wives, multiple wives? Didn't God... Okay, were Hittites pagans? I don't know. Does this Bible say anything? 26:34. Let's see. Esau married Hittite women who believed in many different gods. His parents wanted him to marry a woman who worshipped the living God. The name Judith is related to the word that means praise. She is not mentioned among the wives of Esau in chapter 36. Perhaps the marriage did not last. The name Basemeth means fragrant. Yes, yeah, it says, and they were a grief of mine to Isaac and Rebekah. And 27.
Now it came to pass, when Isaac was old, and his eyes were so dim that he could not see, that he called Esau, his older son, and said to him,
My son,
Here I am.
behold now, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now, therefore, please, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and make me savory food such as I love, and bring it to me.
This part as a kid always got my mouth watering. Like, I want to know what this savory food tastes like. And I'm hungry, man. I haven't eaten all day. I need some of this savory food.
That I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die.
Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt game and to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son.
Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, Bring me game and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock, and bring me from there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it, and that he may bless you before his death.
I don't understand this, man. I don't understand. I mean, how do you have a favorite son and then you lie and I don't know, man. This whole family is just...
Look, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. Perhaps my father will feel me.
Yeah, because he's out hunting. He's a man. You like to stay in tents, right? You got your mom lying for you to try and get the blessing from your dad. Cheating your dad. Oh, come on, man. Ugh.
Me, and I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I shall bring a
I'm
curse on
hungry,
myself
man.
and not a blessing.
I'm hungry.
Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go get them for me.
All this
And
talk
he
of
went
savory
and
food is
got
making
them
me even more hungry.
and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory food, such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on
some
Jacob,
nice mutton
her
curry.
younger son.
And with some bread.
And she put the skins of the kids of the goats on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the savory food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said,
My father.
Here I am. Who are you, my son?
Jacob said to his father,
I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done just as you told me. Please arise. Sit and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me.
How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?
Because the Lord your God brought it to me.
Please, come near, that I...
See, how does God bless Jacob? He lied straight up using God's name.
may feel you, my son.
How did they get a pass?
Whether you are really my son Esau or not.
So Jacob went near to Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said,
The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy, like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him.
What did they use for his hands again? And she put skins of the kids of the goats on his hands. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Esau's hands were not as hairy as a goat.
I am.
Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's game, so that my soul may bless you.
So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him,
Come near now and kiss me, my son.
And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his clothing, and blessed him.
Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore, may God give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you.
This is just a man blessing his son, right? There's no real tangible way that this would actually happen, right? It's just him talking, right? So we still have some hope for Esau.
Now it
Team
happened,
Esau.
as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also had made savory food, and brought it to his father.
Let my father arise and eat of his son's
He went out and hunted. He cooked it by himself.
game, that your soul may bless me.
Who are you?
I am your son, your firstborn, Esau.
Then Isaac trembled exceedingly.
Who? Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed.
When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry.
Bless me also, O my father.
Your brother came with deceit and has taken away your blessing.
How can he take away your blessing? You can bless both.
Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now look, he has taken away my blessing. Have you not reserved a blessing for me?
Indeed, I have made him your master, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son?
Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also, O my father.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him,
Behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck.
And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck.
So Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing with which his father blessed him.
I bet, man.
And Esau said in his heart,
The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother Jacob.
You don't have to go that far, man.
And the words of
You don't have to go
Esau,
that far.
her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob, her younger son.
Surely your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you by intending to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you both in one day?
What do you mean? This is your fault, lady.
And Rebekah said to Isaac,
I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what good will my life be to me?
Oops.
Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him,
You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise,
Blessed him again?
go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take yourself a wife from there of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you, and make you fruitful and multiply you.
So
that
he's
you
going to
may
marry his
be an
first cousin
assembly
also.
of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your descendants with you, that you may inherit the land in which you are a stranger, which God gave to Abraham.
So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram, to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram, to take himself a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother, and had gone to Padan Aram.
Wait, Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram to take himself a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Wait, so who blessed? Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, right? And that he had blessed him. Okay.
Also,
Okay.
Esau saw
Wait, you shall not take a wife from the... Okay, not take. Okay. I got confused.
that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael, and took Maalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's
Hey, the two sons. The two sons that were turned away. Team up. Let's go.
son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife, in addition to the wives he had. Now Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. So he came to a certain place and stayed there all night, because the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and put it at his head, and he lay down in that place to sleep. Then he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set up on the earth, and its top reached to heaven, and there the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it.
I am the Lord God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and your descendants. Also your descendants shall be as the dust of the earth. You shall spread abroad to the west and the east, to the north and the south. And in you and in your seed, all the families of the earth shall be blessed.
What about Esau?
Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you.
Then Jacob awoke from his sleep,
Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it.
and he was afraid.
How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.
Then Jacob rose early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put at his head, set it up as a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. And And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city had been Luz previously. Then Jacob made a vow.
If God will
Jacob
be with
likes
me
naming things.
and keep me in this way that I am going, and give me bread to eat and clothing to put on, so that I come back to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone which I have set as a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will surely give a tenth to you.
Okay, so they had the that law already in place, where you have to give a tenth to God.
To put
Okay, well that's interesting. I mean, I feel bad for Esau, and I feel bad for Ishmael too. So I was cool seeing them two team up a little bit. I mean, help Esau get a wife. Where was that? So Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalet, the daughter of Ishmael. Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife in addition to the wives he had. Man, but I don't understand. Like, God was okay with having multiple wives, marrying your family. So when did those laws come into existence, and why did God decide to make that law at that point? You know, I guess we'll find out. So, yeah, that's it for today. 26 to 28. We just finished 28. I am starving, so I'm going to go eat. And I hope you guys have a great day. And check back tomorrow for 29. See you guys. Goodbye.